see what is good, yo. So, it's official. Goblinslayer is just non-stop going in as of lately. Whenever we get these episodes, like last week, we get, a standard slice of life or just an understanding of the world and what certain people may be going through that could change in a matter of moments. Um, it feels like it's a really good way of introducing more and more monsters like I predicted they would earlier in the series. Like, why would they, literally just stick with Goblin Slayer when a lot of goblins themselves have been known to go into areas that uh, kind of get them in, bad situations. Hence, like how we saw this week with the swamp dragon, aka an alligator. Um, it's easy to know that if there's goblins somewhere, usually that means there could be other destructive things lying in wait right next door to them if they haven't gained enough numbers to literally eradicate whatever was in there in the first place. So what do you do if you're goblins? You pretty much just hide away from whatever can harm you. And in my opinion, that's what I thought they were doing pretty much. Um, 'Cause there's no way that they didn't know about that swamp thing unless they really did. But I mean, they're on boats in this week's episode, so it kind of gave me that feeling that they knew about it. It's just something that they probably knew how to avoid a little bit better um, than they were, or because of this huge attack that they do that moves like all of the water, every freaking where. Maybe that has something to do with the alligator getting pushed all the way down here, something along those lines. So, um, that was just my way of seeing it. Like, you guys are gonna go and do this huge, enormous attack and not expect any other monsters, to really get rile up after this, or at least hear it and maybe want to track the source or something. So it was very reminiscent of like just doing a stealth mission and then you kind of just give up on being stealth in the mission and you're just like, you know what? I'll just destroy everything and then find out that if you destroy everything, it activates the ultimate boss. So that was pretty interesting that this thing pretty much became the one and only weapon that Goblin Slayer could use because of you know who and their agenda that they're trying to push on Goblin Slayer, which I'm just gonna say it. I know a lot of people are feeling the same way. They gotta be. Why are these women trying to change him so much when he's the reason why, goblins are getting killed like efficiently? If it wasn't for the Goblin Slayer literally coming up with these certain ideas, these certain ways to take out goblins, he could have been dead a long time ago. So all of a sudden, they want him to completely change his way. No waterboarding, no setting them on fire, and no poisoning them. Everything that they've done to him, he can't do it back. You know how mad Goblin Slayer's got to be underneath that mask, man? Like the same way the girl's like, "Oh, isn't this amazing? Look at this place. It's like a really big structure and stuff." Goblin Slayer feels amazed when he gets to poison goblins. He would be like, "Oh, isn't it amazing? Look at those goblins suffer out there." Like that's Goblin Slayer's thing, and they're taking that away from him. So I don't see this group lasting much longer. I see Goblin Slayer going solo, and that being the end of the series. You know what I'm saying? Just go solo. You don't need any of these women, and I mean, you could take the lizard guy. He seems to understand. The lizard and the dwarf seem to understand. They're not like, oh, you can't waterboard or burn them. Like, you mean kind of like they would waterboard or burn us? No, I'm doing whatever I want. Sorry. Like, if you want to leave, they should have left a while ago. But enough of my mini rant there. Um, Overall, with Goblin Slayer, even recognizing that he wants them on their team is a pretty huge step in his and in my idea of him becoming like a little bit more reserved and a little bit more human. 'Cause I mean, it's not necessarily that he needs to become these things. It's just it feels like the show will last longer if he actually starts caring about stuff and actually shows that he cares about the people that he's around, but at the same time, uh, I don't think it's really necessary, in his opinion, to say it out loud. So I don't know if he'll ever tell them like right out that, oh yeah, you guys are great, or you're important to me. I don't want you to die. None of that mopey stuff. He doesn't seem like that type of character to me. So I would be interested to see if he did do something like that because at this point, he's pretty much shown that he's lost all type of dignity in the sense of he wants to get to what he wants to do now, and that's slaying goblins. So, hearing a whole backstory about demon lords and alligators and all that stuff was never really an option. Because he never really cared to hear it. So, with that being said, it was at least funny to see the person hiring them try to, go out and out of her way to explain some of it. Like, yeah, there's been things going on. He's like, is that things related to goblins? She's like, no, I stubbed my toe and it hurt. It's like, goblins. So I think I think that's probably one of the better qualities of the show is they're self-aware of how strange the title may be, even though there's so much more in the world of like these like fantasy world, like monsters wise. To stick with one seems like ridiculous, but the show is self-aware of that. Like they know it seems ridiculous, which you should give it props for being self-aware because that means with it knowing that they know what they can and probably should do. um, it's just a matter of are they going to do it? Are they going to bring in the demon lord and come to find out the demon lord was just a goblin all along, man? The demon lord's a goblin all along. I couldn't write a better script. Goblinslayer, you can hire me. um, that would be the only way he would ever care about a demon lord if it was a demon, if it was a goblin. So absolutely possible that they could trick him into that because it seems like as long as Goblin's in the sentence somewhere, he's pretty down to fight it. So I can't wait to see where this is all going. I didn't really expect to like the character as much as I do, but it's actually kind of funny. The reason why I do is because he's such a like, oh my god, bro, I just really brought out my weakest character. He's just such a open like book in the sense of we know and understand everything Goblin Slayer can possibly want to do within these episodes. I mean, he wants to poison goblins. He wants to put them on fire. But he can't do those things, and by just, conceding that he can't do those things is enough for me to understand that he's trying to be understanding to these people around him, which is very so shocking. And actually, like, I didn't expect him to even, you know, care about what they feel. Like, oh, you don't want me to waterboard or do these things? Then you should probably find a new Goblin Slayer. I mean, that's how I slay goblins, you know? Let me know what you guys are feeling about this. Some of my homies and stuff, they've been telling me that some sad stuff was supposed to happen. Um, I'm a man, so I don't cry. But if some sad stuff does pop off, be guaranteed your boy will be here. And if you do cry, you have a shoulder of the anime G to lean on for these next couple episodes of Goblin Slayer. Please don't let anything happen to the mace. I mean, the last thing I just want to throw out there though, the priestess and long ears. Are they gonna get together? I think the love romance is long ears and priestess. Let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong. Because last time I checked, if you want to show someone you like them, you usually flirt with them, kind of. And long ears and priestess, they've been hitting each other with that finishing their sentences thing. So, I mean, come on. Come on. We know where this is going. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you join the anime squad. We are going to be talking about all things anime and maybe a little bit more if it's like a video game and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys are feeling about these shows. We got a lot of shows still coming out within this year and next. So we got a lot to talk about. So be ready for that. Be subscribed and have that notification bell on so you don't miss anything. And I will be dropping sword art very soon here, so be ready for that. Alright, everybody. Take care and peace.